SimplyScuba presents the Deco Stop Podcast. Hi everybody and welcome to the Deco Stop Podcast. I'm Mark, I'm here to talk about scuba diving stuff, and I'm joined as ever with Sean, who, rumour has it, has spent the past 5 years genetically selecting faster and faster sloths for his underground sloth racing racket, where he basically, pits fast sloths against one another in a race.
I was hoping to be so careful with that documentation. But yeah, you've now broadcast it to the 10 people that listen to this podcast.
It's tough selective breeding sloths because they don't breed that well, especially in captivity.
No.
And
mate, you don't want to know the things I have to do to breed sloths. It's disgusting.
Especially the fast ones.
Yeah. Well, you can actually make them pretty fast just by putting some stripes on them. It's amazing what stripes do. Lead-based, though. Lead-based, like, it almost burns them.
No.
I do not do that. I use non-lead-based to paint my fast sloths. Thank you. Yeah, well, hopefully, coming to Twitch. That's right. I'm going to be live streaming on Twitch my sloth races. I've got one called Vin Diesel, the Vin Diesel sloth.
He's all about the family.
Yeah, that's it. And there's going to be plenty of others. Roadrunner.
John Cena.
Yeah, he's the brother. He doesn't look anything
who acknowledges that Taiwan is not a separate country or something.
We do not want to get in trouble. We're going to swiftly move on from that bit. But yeah, anyway, guys. Sloth racing, come in. 2022. You heard it here first, guys. Yes.
So, talking about scuba diving stuff. So, starting off with the SimplyScuba website and updates. We'll go through these pretty quick. So, starting off, Garmin. We finally have Garmin. So, their new Descent Mark II dive computers. So, yeah, if you head over to our website, I received my samples yesterday afternoon. I've had a quick play with them. And then Sean's coming over to do some filming next week, so we'll get some fancy videos about them, and you'll probably see those week after next probably. So yeah, Garmin dive computers.
Don't know if I'm ready to commit to editing that quickly. Give it a year.
So if you have any questions or you want me to do anything in particular with the dive computers, let us know down in the sort of comments, especially or mainly if you're watching this on YouTube or listening whilst watching.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't quite know how to say YouTube, watching, listening, podcast thingy, majiggy.
Even more Mares equipment has arrived on the SimplyScuba website. Yes. So yeah, everything from Mares XR to their Pure Instinct, which is their apnea freediving sort of side of things, snorkeling stuff, kids snorkeling equipment. So yeah, all of their scuba diving range as well as their technical range, their extended XR range, and yeah, sort of freediving stuff. So it's basically, instead of dropping everything all on one day, It's sort of slowly sort of releases a few bits and bobs sort of every day or so. So there's more and more stuff dropping all the time. So you're going to start to see a few more sort of product videos on sort of Mares from their really lightweight sort of Magellan BCD. Lovely BCD, very stripped down wing style. It weighs nothing at all.
Wow, it's negative weight. It is like helium.
Yeah. Yeah, if you fill the bladder with helium, yeah, you will float. No, you won't. There's a little asterisk next to that. New masks, new fins. They got the Excite fins, which are kind of like a snazzier version of the Avanti Quattro. Very popular dive fins, the Avanti Quattro. We got those as well. Don't worry, I don't think they're ever going to stop making those unless the mold breaks, basically. We got the Tech Black version of the Extreme fins, which are very sexy. I know. I first saw it on the website and I was like, ooh, didn't know we were getting those. They're very cool. They're all like matte black. You're like,
Calm down.
That's pretty cool.
Calm down.
Their dive computers, the smart dive computer, incredibly popular watch-sized dive computer, along with the Genius, which is a full color screen dive computer. Yeah, all sorts of bits and bobs, definitely worth checking out, and it's all got that sort of Italian styling. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. We've added a new feature to the product page on the website, sorry, and that's recommended products. So it's kind of little added extras. So underneath like the buy now button or add to basket, it has have you considered this? Because there are some products that are just standalone products, but there are others where you might need something else, like swivel pins on high pressure hoses and kind of stuff like that. And it's like, oh, have you remembered that you might need this? It's not obligatory, obviously, but it's just a faster way just to go, yes, this is compatible with that, and most people buy this with that. Would you like to add this to your basket as well? So that's kind of cool. And we also have our extended returns periods. So that was enacted last week. But if you buy something now, you have up until the end of January 16th, 2022, to return it. Depending on where you are in the world, it gets complicated when there's sort of multi-country things, but yeah, extended returns.
Those
basically.
pesky multi-country things.
I know it is complicated when you're trying to make a single website that does everything for every country in different languages. There's a lot of work that goes into it. But yeah, that's about it. I don't think there are any sort of extra special offers. But yeah, we're leading up to Black Friday. So yeah, that's definitely worth adding to your calendar at the end of November. We're doing some exciting stuff, but of course we'll cover that and we'll mention exactly what deals are going ahead closer to the time.
I will mention on Black Friday, we plan, at least the original plan, is to make emails go live first. So if you want to know what deal of the day or what offer we've got on a certain day or actually on Black Friday itself, the people that are on our emailing list will find out first before anyone else. So with that in mind, go sign up to our email. So if you want to grab yourself a nice bargain, go sign up to our emails. I mean, you mentioned that anyway at the end of the show, but I thought obviously you've brought it up, so I thought just quickly mention it. Yeah, so yeah, go do that.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah.
Is that it from website updates?
I think so. We're fiddling around with the header banner a little bit. We've rearranged that because we're adding like open water swimming stuff as well. A lot of scuba divers, when they're not diving, they're swimming on the surface. So we got brands like sort of Zone 3 and that kind of stuff. So yeah, you're going to start to see sort of swimming stuff, surface water sports on SimplyScuba as well going forwards.
Well, a lot of
diversifying.
Yeah, well, a lot of the divers that obviously throughout lockdown didn't go abroad or whatever, a lot of them actually took up open water swimming as well. So it seems to have just, like from a diving point of view, it just seems to have boomed. I know it's been popular anyway from one of our other brands that we used to work with or used to own back in the day. Open water swimming's always been good, but yeah, no, it's nice to see that on the website. It's exciting.
Yeah. I mean, the last few times that I've been to like open water lakes, sort of training lakes, and there's me in like my dry suit, my undersuit, my twin set, all this kind of stuff, and then there's Joe just swimming around in a pair of Speedos, and you're like, oh, are you kidding?
Yeah.
But yeah, open water swimming is huge, and more people are doing it. So yeah, we're getting into it. I was just reading about the goggles, and yeah, just clever. They have the photochromatic lenses or whatever they call it. So they change. It's like sunglasses or reading glasses that get darker when it gets bright outside, and there's a lot of technology that goes into that.
I had to do product videos on them. That was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I imagine scuba diving lenses are maybe going to go down that road.
That's changed. Don't like that.
Well, I don't see why not, because we do like UV and like mirrored lenses, all that kind of stuff. But so far, we haven't done that like automatically darken as it gets brighter. Don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe it has something to do with pressure and depth. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, it just goes completely blank the deeper down you go, so you can't see anything.
You can't see anything, yeah. Reaching out and touching stuff, which you shouldn't do. All right. Social update, should I do them?
Yeah, do let's.
Boom. So first one is YouTube. So obviously, because that's the most important. Voting is now live for the surface interval. And let me just refresh the page. So we've had 88 votes so far. In third place, we have commercial diving do's and don'ts. In second place, we've got why you should dive Europe with 35%. And in first place, with 39% of the vote, is never go scuba diving when ... part 2, because we've already done a part 1, which is very, very popular. So I thought I'd stick a part 2 in. And again, those 3 are seasoned ones that, should I say, that I've put up a couple of times. So they'll probably get wiped off the face of the earth after this vote. Going forward. But there's that. So why you should never go, but it's quite tight. So it's definitely worth at the moment as of recording. Obviously, we're recording this Friday morning. Head over to our community tab and go vote there. So if you want to vote for next week's surface interval, go over there. The only other thing I've got to mention about YouTube is as of our first scuba tips. So remember, maybe it was probably about a month ago, beginning of September, so nearly 2 months ago, we obviously went to the beach and, on the hottest day of the year, like you do in the middle of or the beginning part of September, to go and film some stuff. We're finally releasing those videos. So we have the first season, which has 8 episodes. That drops on the Tuesday, the 1st of November. And then obviously for the next 8 weeks, you've got those episodes of Scuba Tips, so take a look out of them. I'm not going to really say what they are. It's pretty obvious. They're tips about scuba diving, about products, about whatever really. So lots of stuff. So go check that out. That will be going live on the 1st of November at 5 p.m. That's the only thing that's really happening on YouTube at the moment. Instagram, obviously, we want the road to 7,000 to hit by the end of 2021. Realistically, it's probably going to be more like the road to... We
can do it. It's going to happen.
I would love for it to happen, but maybe the
power
road to...
of positive attitude.
The road
to... literally change the weather, make people subscribe to our Instagram.
Yeah, do it now. But so go and subscribe over to our Instagram anyway to reach that target, or more realistic to me, it'd be 6,500 by the end of the year. But anyway, do that. But there is a bigger picture. Next year, we want to reach 10,000 followers over on our Instagram page. It is super important because when you hit that 10,000 threshold, it opens up a world of stuff. Links, there's lots of other different options that we can do by reaching 10,000 on Facebook. So I really want to push that. Instagram. So anyway, go over there. Now, if you haven't looked at our page, don't worry. The majority of the page is lifestyle. So it's all about inspiring you to go scuba diving, snorkeling, free diving. It's about getting your creative juices and just get you excited about scuba diving. And there is some product thrown in there. So there are generic product stuff, that's like evergreen stuff that always goes on. But Mark, he posts like new and exciting stuff. So something has just arrived, and he really likes that product. He will then post it on there. So if you want to also keep up to date with what's just going live on our website, it's definitely worth following us over on Instagram. And you can find that by just going to Instagram, typing in SimplyScuba, or if you're watching this / listening to this on YouTube, just click on the link that's going to be pinned in the comments below. And just lastly as well, podcasts, it's the usual. Follow us, subscribe to us wherever you are listening to, please. Again, Mark's going to say this at the end, but please do it. And rate us. So I am specifically talking to you right now, or if you're listening to us right now on Apple Podcasts, head over to us, head over to our page and give us a rating, please. 5 stars, nothing less. Thank you. Please do that because it does help. We've found some stats, or kind of found some stats from other scuba diving podcasters, haven't we, Mark? We found some bits this week, and we are surprised by the numbers, should we say?
We're doing okay. We're doing pretty well.
We're doing I'm doing a lot better, and comparing it to other scuba diving podcasts, It's crazy, our numbers, in all honesty. But yeah, that's
Considering the amount of work and effort that we put into it.
loads. This is the only effort that we put in. Everything else is just audio ripped from your videos. But hey, I mean, no, we careful and consider. But next year, though, in all honesty, next year I would love to. I'm not going to beef up Deco Stop, but maybe we can come up with maybe another show where we actually have guests and stuff. But that's another thing we've got to think about.
Future,
yeah, future. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's social updates. What's happening in the world of Scuba? What is the news?
Okay, so the first one that caught my eye was last week. I spoke about a missing shark tag. Scientists had tagged a poor beagle shark off the coast of France, I believe, and the tag had fallen off. And the tag's got a lot of clever little gizmos inside of it, so they kind of wanted it back. And they found that it had like pinged off the south coast of the UK, and they're like, it's kind of here, but if you could like find it, because we can't find it, and sort of let us know, please. And someone has found it. So yeah, a chap from Brystone, and he's found it. So if you're still like raking the beach, stop, because they found it, and they were quite surprised at how close it was to actually where they thought it was. Funnily enough, because it had been pinging. They said that they had used like an old like radio RF receiver, whatever it is, because it pings like once a minute, and they were like, well, we can hear the ping, we just can't find it. But yeah, this guy has found it and returned it to the rightful owner.
He went out, he swam out in the ocean. It's like,
found the poor beagle.
Just rammed it on him. There you go, mate. There's your tag back.
But yeah, there's a nice little sort of follow up to last week's story. Cool. Over in Singapore, they're actually using Lego to help save coral reefs. So what these divers are doing are they're going down, because the reef is being broken apart. Basically, they find broken bits of coral, and they basically further break it down, so they have multiple little pieces, and then they cement it to Lego pieces, and then of course the Lego allows it to be sort of put in position and placed in certain areas. So yeah, they're using plastic.
I can't wait for their funding. I mean microplastics. I mean, hopefully, you'll get the new type of Lego, but yeah, like their funding's like, we need £500,000. Oh, why? Just to buy Lego?
Oh yeah, just buy some Lego bricks. Try and get that on expenses.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. There's a whole bunch of different ways. We reported on one method. I forget where it was now, but they made these like wrought iron sort of cages, and then they dipped it in like sand, and then they sort of cement little bits of coral onto that so it can then further grow. And I mean, Lego kind of makes sense because you can build it into any kind of shape. It's pretty tough. It can survive water, and you can pose it in sort of almost whatever shape you want. And by breaking it down into smaller. If they take like one piece of coral and then break it down into 10 little bits, then they will eventually grow 10 little corals off of that. It's cool,
Man.
different.
What they need to do is they need to actually get the like the Kylo Ren or like the Death Star and build that up and then stick coral in there and then just put that underwater. But have it where...
the Titanic.
Yeah, that's it. Get the Titanic. But what you do, you put the coral on the outside, but like we were saying, like with Lego, it's so complex. Like you build engine, like obviously with the Titanic, you were saying like you build the engine on the inside. Build all of that and have all the minifigures on the inside, but just have the coral on the outside. So eventually, maybe one day... Not that anyone would look into it, but like one day, like just this Lego would immersion like on the inside. Oh, it would just be amazing. Coral on the outside, but you got all the details and all the minifigures on the inside. It's cool, mate.
One day, hey.
One
A chap called Jake Still is planning on doing a sponsored walk for a Blackpool charity. The charity, let me find the name, but they basically they take kids, sick children, on holiday, basically. Donna's Dream House. And Jake is planning to wear full scuba gear, and this was from the Blackpool Gazette. I'll just read through this paragraph. Where was it? Oh no, I've lost it.
No.
Oh no. Full scuba diving gear. Oh no, there was like one. Oh, here it is. The 22-year-old will be dressed in the rubber suit, including the mask, oxygen tank, and flippers.
Yes.
Really?
He said all of those things are correct.
I love that. It says, and flippers, and then there's a hyphen, known in diving circles as fins. Like, so you knew the right word, but you used the wrong one anyway. But yeah, he's planning to do a walk. I think it's down the Blackpool Illumination,
Nice.
in just full scuba gear. If he's wearing fins, I don't know if he's walking backwards or just that awkward kind of forward shuffle that divers do before tripping over. But yeah, good luck to him, and check it out, and Donna's Dream House, to see how you can sort of contribute. Nice little thing.
In the article, there is a link. So again, you're watching, listening on YouTube. I'll pin it down there. So go check that out.
I remember I had to do a presentation in a primary school, and I was wearing my twin set, and there was like no opportunity for me to just like, okay, let me just take my twin set off. So I just sort of stood there in front of all these kids, and you're just like, oh, my back's gonna hurt tomorrow. Yeah. I'm now half an inch shorter.
I did a target once, or a presentation about for children, but it was all about like winter climbing. So I had like my crampons and ice axes, and like, here you go, kids, play with these. No, I didn't really do that, but let me just sharpen that up for you. Yeah, you aim it and you go right in your head. Yeah. Anyway, okay,
to get a good grip.
So I'm just looking at Jake Still's Just Giving page, and his target is only £50, so he's already at 80%. So guys, let's go over there and let's
get on it.
Let's get on it, mate. Let's get it to over 100. Let's double his target at least, guys and girls. So you go spend your money.
The next news story is basically a scuba diver has been found guilty in an American court of basically smuggling rebreathers into Libya. So this is Peter Sotis. You've probably heard his name in the news. He was actually diving with the filmmaker Rob Stewart when he died in 2017, and I believe the year beforehand, this Peter had imported American rebreathers, closed circuit rebreathers, into Libya. And because sort of rebreathers, they're on the America's Commerce Control list of export controlled items, they were basically like, no, you cannot sell and import rebreather technology into Libya, because it has like military connotations. It's advanced technology. It's arguably quite clandestine, and Libya, they're like, Libya aren't huge fans of us, so you do not import rebreathers into Libya, but he did it anyway, and I think he like sort of fudged some like paperwork on like sort of what it was. It's a paddling pool.
Don't look, it's just a paddling pool.
Yeah. If I go down to the where is it, the letter, and it says, okay, so scheduled to be sentenced on January the 6th, 2022. He faces a maximum penalty of 20 years in prison and a
Jeez.
$1 million fine for attempting to violate the IEEPA, a maximum of 5 years and a $250,000 fine for the IEEPA conspiracy, and a maximum of 10 years and a $250,000 fine for smuggling.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
that's bad news for them.
don't smuggle stuff. It's not worth it.
Just don't. I mean, no. And if someone tells you no, don't do this, it's illegal. Don't they will find you, and you are going to get in trouble. So, it's true. Yeah, you can't stay on your rebreather and hide underwater forever.
I will try.
Well, that was my thought. Did you ever watch the Channel 4 show The Hunted?
Yes.
Where they basically So, for those of you who haven't, the basic premise is they take, I think, 10 people from the UK, and they release them somewhere in the UK, and they basically have to hide from these former police and like MI5 agents for 30 days as if they were criminals. They're not, but they have all their details. They have access to like CCTV and whatnot, and they have to catch them. If they make it undetected for the whole 30 days or something, then they win, I don't know, £1 million, whatever it is. And yeah, that's always been like my thought. If I ever did go on that, it's like, well, you start off on a rebreather and kind of like swim down a river, and then there's absolutely zero trace of you. The hunters aren't going to know what's going on, and you basically hide somewhere. Rebreathers, just amazing.
Yeah, there's only one problem
No
with
bubbles.
that. You have
What's that?
an entire film crew with you.
No, because don't they film it twice? They do the original thing, and then they basically recreate events with a film crew.
See, I didn't. I knew they recreated, so all the stuff that's where they're looking at Google, that's all recreated. But I genuinely think where there's a person with them running around, that is because there was a chap who in Canterbury who did it in the first season, and one of the guy, well, basically a mate, one of my brother's mates was on part of the production, and then this guy in Canterbury, he went into a bovvy up in Scotland, and they had to hide from the hunter, but he had an entourage of around about 10 people, and they all had to try and hide.
Oh, that kind of ruins the mystique of the show.
Yeah, well, I learned about that just after season 1. It's cool. It's a cool premise, but it's basically set up.
Yeah, they're in like Dayglow Montaigne jackets.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff.
Right in the woods. Oh, who's that guy over with the camera? Yeah, no, just ignore that person. That's. Yeah.
There's a guy with a huge like boom arm with the microphone.
Exactly.
There's the lighting guy.
It's like obviously with Bear Grylls, and everyone's like the first couple of seasons of Bear Grylls, and they were like, you're by yourself. It's like, no, turn the camera around. There's about 20 people just looking at, there's about 20 medics there ready for it. You know what I mean?
and a Premier Inn.
Yeah. Cannot forget the Premier Inn, mate. Don't get me started on Bear Grylls. Let's swiftly move on. That is a wound I do not want to pick at.
A trailer has been released. This was actually earlier in October, but it was mentioned in a news article recently. And I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. It's called The Deep House. It comes from Paramount Movies, and this is going to be sort of available to stream on November the 5th. I mean, come on, you were so close to Halloween. It's basically a horror movie, but it's set in a submerged house. I'm not going to give away too many details, but yeah, it's basically a pair of scuba divers They go down to explore this this house that I presume is in some kind of floodplains or like behind a dam or something. And of course, the entire place is submerged underwater, so you can explore it. There's all like the tables and chairs and all that kind of stuff, and then horror ensues. But yeah, if you're into your sort of horror stuff, I'm not a huge horror fan.
I love horror.
I don't get it. Especially like newer horror where it's just jump scares and just really loud noises, and you're like, oh, great, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I
understand
I
that.
like the original, like the Alien and that kind of stuff, but the newer stuff, and you're like, nah. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. You're like, yeah, that's my sweet spot.
That's fantastic. Is that still on? That must still be on Netflix. That's probably what.
No,
it's not.
Well, I don't know. I checked it. Yeah, I checked it last Halloween, and it wasn't there, and I was very disappointed. But yeah, the Deep House.
The best scene out of that is when that guy runs into the lot, like the tree or whatever, the stumps.
Oh yeah, he's
the wood
running
chip
away
is
from
funny
the
as well.
bees.
So, it just runs into there. It's like, and then you got Dan or Tuck's like, "What are you doing?" Go watch it, guys. If you haven't seen that.
I mean, I know that if you walk into a wall at like your natural pace, you do hit it pretty hard, surprisingly hard. I don't think you could run fast enough to impale yourself.
Oh no, they did. It's not a movie; it's a documentary. It actually happened there and then.
And they confirmed it on Dog Soldiers, because it happens on Dog Soldiers as well.
Soldiers.
He's running without looking where he's going, and yeah, he gets impaled on a tree branch.
Love it.
Really?
Yeah.
I get that werewolves are scary, but really,
Dog Soldiers, mate. Oh, I want to watch that. I haven't seen that in years.
They recently re-released it.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
It's fantastic. If you've never watched Dog Soldiers, bunch of army guys doing some training.
Spoony.
Werewolves. Yeah, and I was going to say that there's a guy called Spoon. His name is Spoon, which is just fantastic.
Oh,
and the other guys are very stereotypical, like, Manchester United thug, isn't he? He's like, I can't believe I'm missing the game. You're like, calm down, mate. It's just a game. Oh, look, you got your head ripped off from a werewolf. Nah.
That's it. He doesn't want to get off the helicopter because there's like a football game on that night. Really? Are you kidding?
Or like because I quite like werewolf movies, and there's analogies. It's like when you're turning into a werewolf, is it like having a poo? Can you just hold it for a bit? It's like, don't turn into one just yet. Just hold it for a bit. I love that analogy. Can you just hold? They don't say poo. They say the other word. But yeah, is it like holding a poo? Can you just wait a little bit? Anyway,
probably
Mark.
not. Yeah.
I don't know, mate. Anyway, let's swiftly move on. Mark, what's your product of the week?
So I'm talking about the Garmin Descent Mark II. So this is the skinny version. I don't think that's exactly what S stands for, but that's how I refer to it, as the skinny sport. Maybe
slim.
It's basically, it's smaller than I expected. I'd seen the Descent Mark 1, and I sort of played with that a few times. The Descent Mark 2 as well, it's about the same size as a Shearwater Terex, so I was quite familiar with that. But then when I opened the box for the Mark 2S, I was quite surprised at how small and light it is. I know it's a little bit smaller. They say, you go from like 52 millimeters to 43, but it's really slim. That's probably what it stands for. But yeah, as a general day-to-day wristwatch, smartwatch, which is what it's designed to be, they've really hit the nail on the head. So yeah, but on top of everything else that it has, because one of the main arguments against the Descent is, it's really expensive, but most people don't sort of get that it's a smart watch, but it's also a fully functional dive computer on top of all of that. So you have everything from Garmin Pay, so you just kind of bip it against a modern day card reader, and you can pay for things like that. It connects to your phone. It's got all the heart rate monitors and sleep monitors. If something, if it detects that there's like you're sick and something is wrong with your heart or something, it lets you know, all that kind of
There's
stuff.
a countdown.
So,
You are going to die in 10 seconds.
yeah. Yeah. What does this countdown mean? No, but it comes up with like little alerts and like, oh, we've detected something. It might be worth like getting it checked out. So yeah, very clever stuff. It monitors your sleep. It does all that kind of stuff. It has GPS built into it, so you can use that either on the surface just to like navigate, find your way around, or you can use it sort of out in the middle of nowhere, and you can also use it not while scuba diving, but it can log your entry and exit points. Of course, it doesn't work underwater, but when you're on the surface, it says, oh, okay, this is where you started the dive, and it puts that point on the map. And
Nice.
everything inside of it, from apnea, free diving, to sort of normal sort of scuba diving, nitrox, even closed circuit rebreather, all that kind of stuff.
Nice.
It's got a I think it's ZHL 16C Buhlmann algorithm in it as well, which is I know, which is the same as the Terek. So yeah, it ticks a lot of boxes and more. So this truly is a one thing. You wear it as a wristwatch, but it does everything else as well. And then when you connect it to your phone, you change the watch face. You can do whatever you want with it. It does messages. It does. You can control your music, all that clever stuff. So if you're after an all-in-one like sort of smartwatch, but you also want a dive computer as well, it's a really good dive computer. I think Divers Ready actually did a piece on using it as a technical dive computer. He's like, yeah, of course you can use it as a technical dive computer. It does everything that you need it to. And it comes in a bunch of different colours, which is kind of cool. You get the sort of the black version. You also get a pretty funky sort of blue version, which is quite nice. They call it sea foam with mineral blue, and then you get the sort of the white and I think they call it sand colour. It's kind of like a creamy white with a very light kind of gold finish, which is kind of cool. But if you're in the market, it's. I've used it for less than a day, but very smart little dive computer. And there'll be a video coming up soon. Subscribe to the channel and you will see that pop up shortly.
Awesome. It's nice to actually have Garmin on the site, though. It's been a bit of a fight. There's been a lot of behind the scenes dramas because again, if people like follow our YouTube, obviously one of the first videos that we had that we did when we came back was about this Garmin, whether it's actually going to pay off or not with the original Mark 1. And I was very skeptical about it, but again, we've had videos about it since going, actually no, it's really good that it's proven it's not a fad. It's not just been an add-on to a smartwatch. It's a very clever system.
Ever since I first met them and sort of saw, the original Descent Mark 1, it was, okay, so it's Garmin. Would people trust Garmin and would people like sort of see them and like go in for them? And we were in two minds about it. And it's been a good few years and another generation of Descent computers since then. So it's just like, I don't know. But when you actually get it and you do play with it, it does start to pay for itself, and you're like, actually this is a very smart piece of kit, and it is probably the way that dive computers are gonna go. It's not solely a dive computer, it is a smartwatch with a dive computer built in. Very, very smart, and we are very happy to have them on board.
Yeah, definitely. Do you reckon this is going to be a change in actual other manufacturers? Because obviously you've got Suunto now. Suunto, they have dive computers, but they also have action hiking, their own versions. Do you reckon they're just going to have one computer, and eventually there'll be one system, just like this?
We have. I've thought about that in the past, and because they have all their sort of stuff for triathletes and all that kind of stuff, GPS things, and every time I've spoken to Suunto, they are a very separate company. They're basically together in name only, well, mostly, but yeah, very separate departments, to the point where they're not really in the same building as such. So I imagine so. It's a logical jump to go from. And of course, they're going to share technology like different screens and stuff on the inside. But yeah, to go from their like D5 or something, and then use the GPS from I don't know their like sort of hiking range, whatever they're called. I think they've got Spartan or something.
Yeah, there's cores. There's loads of different versions.
But also, it's so much wider when you look at the like strap options that you get on Suunto hiking sort of computers than we get on the Suunto diving range. So yeah, I think in the next sort of 5 years or something, we'll start to see a lot more crossover and like sharing of technology, because yeah, if you have that technology and it's under your own sort of company's umbrella, as it were, yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Thing is, like nowadays, like with battery technology, everything getting smaller, it literally makes no sense. If I own Suunto, I would say within the next 10 years, we'll combine them and we'll just have a bunch of watches that look the same but maybe have some slightly different, like obviously a hiker's not going to necessarily want a scuba diving watch, but like Garmin, they've got other versions of it. It's just their dive computer basically will fall in line with their hiking computer, basically. That's
well, you can,
be the future.
I'm going to say the features, they're all kind of downloadable. So if you don't want this feature on your like main screen, you just press a couple buttons and it disappears. It's still kind of there in the background. And then you have this, if you scroll down to the bottom, you get this add. So yeah, you can just add extra features. And because there's like Garmin apps that you get on your phone and then you connect it to your watch, then yeah, there's all this like progressive stuff and updates, so that yeah, going into the future they use the existing sensors and whatnot and just improve it, add extra features. Yeah, it is very clever technology, and yeah, we are going to see it more and more going forwards.
Yeah, cool, man. Right, so that actually brings me to my question of the week. So the first question Mark wrote on there's how tall is Sean in Canada? I'm 6'2", and
that's an old running joke that we have.
Yeah, I'm not going to explain it though, so we're just going to swiftly move on, just to keep people guessing. Is that what on earth those guys talking about? But the main question is: should non-diving brands like, say, Garmin, they're not, you know what I mean? They weren't considered a diving brand at first. Well, let's be honest. Anyway, should they actually start making scuba diving products? And also, I'm going to add to
Volvo.
that. Yeah, well, like
a Volvo pair of fins.
Like that's the thing, though. Like, if there is there any product that is in the non-scuba diving world that could easily be altered, very much like the Garmin Sport watch or Active watch, that can be adjusted and then implemented in scuba diving?
Okay.
So yeah, big brands, and what is there any crossovers that kind of exist at the moment that you could do?
I mean, I can see things like Oakley's and Ray-Bans doing diving masks. That would be quite cool. Get their like funky design teams on some new scuba diving mask designs. There's not too much sort of holding them back. I think a lot of technology, especially like rebreathers, is going to be quite proprietary. So they'd have to either buy some kind of regulator technology, or sort of work with them to create their own. But that's kind of hard, because then you're basically trying to jump into a market that you don't exist in. So that's going to be pretty tough. Otherwise, I mean, torches, I guess, to a certain degree.
Well, you have exposure. So I believe they weren't originally diving torches, because I used to know them from mountain biking. They're mountain biking torches.
Yeah,
and
Ultimate
hiking.
Sport Engineering, USE. Yeah, and then they came out with Exposure Marine,
Yeah.
which do diving torches, but also more the like boating marine, sort of man overboard type beacons. But yeah, primarily they do, yeah, nighttime cycling, head torches and bike lights and all that kind of stuff.
In the hiking
Fins.
world, you've got
Yeah.
obviously Adidas. They are now doing hiking boots and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And last night I saw a pair of Vans hiking boots with Gore-Tex proper sole to them.
Yes, I've seen them.
Yeah, they look well cool. So
Yeah,
they could be even that. I mean, you could have like a Vans wetsuit. I mean, you could have almost like kind of what you're doing. Like you get like a Quicksilver where it is kind of surf based or sup based.
kind of funky. Yeah,
But then they branch over to the scuba diving world. I mean,
yeah. I mean, think that the Gucci's and the Prada and stuff. I think they have done wetsuits, but it's more fashion. It's not really that practical. But yeah, neoprene. I know they do like boots, which are basically shoes just made out of neoprene, but it is more for day-to-day life than scuba diving. Otherwise, cylinders you can't do a great deal with. It's just a chunk of metal. BCDs, that's a very different, unique sort of concept. I don't think there are any brands out there who can do something similar.
knives, you can get like people that create kitchen knives, or like, obviously you like the Japanese knives, don't you? You can have something like that.
Yeah, like Spyderco, but it's... I mean, yeah, they do all the clever designs and stuff, but a lot of it comes down to like just the metal. As long as you're using like 316 or 304 or just titanium, then yeah, you're onto a winner. But with dive knives, it's less flair. You get a lot of the like military style sort of knives out there, and like hunting knives and stuff, and you're like, yeah, that's great, but if you just like dip it in seawater, it just flash rusts. So yeah, I don't think there's a great deal of magic, and a lot of the existing scuba diving brands, especially the big ones, the Italian brands, they've been doing it for a fair while. They know what they're doing. They can do it themselves. Otherwise, yeah, I mean, dive computer technology makes a lot of sense. We get the sort of the Garmin's sort of coming into it. Otherwise,
It's a tricky
I think
one.
that's about it. Yeah. I mean, we do often sort of not. I don't like to use the word steal, but we do to take intellectual properties. I mean, the brass dry suit zippers. We took them from NASA. That's what they use on theirs.
NASA's all what's it? Royalty free.
Public.
You can anything.
Domain or
that's the
something.
one. Anything that NASA make. That's why the only reason why SpaceX exists is because they took the NASA technology for everything and they then built it themselves, tweaked it a bit,
on top of it,
and then they charged NASA to use their facilities.
To be fair, they put a lot of work into SpaceX.
Yeah. There are deals and partnerships there, but yeah, like the initial setup, NASA's fantastic because everything they created Velcro, didn't they?
Yeah.
And I still love the old what is it? They spent millions of dollars.
Pen.
Yeah, the pen, and then they talked to the Russian guys. I just use a pencil.
Just use a pencil.
I love that story. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, apart from sort of styles and sort of patterns and things on wetsuits, that would be kind of funky. But yeah, masks, we're looking at sort of sunglass brands and all that kind of stuff. That would be kind of cool. And different like lens treatments.
Well, to be fair,
wetsuits.
I was going to say, if you have Oakley, they have obviously lens treatment stuff. So the best company to do it, rather than a scuba diving brand trying to figure it out, you have Oakley that probably already have that technology, and all they need to do is go, right, we need to apply it to this. It'll be probably a quicker process.
Yeah, because I know your snowboard goggles, they have like magnetic swap out lenses.
I love them. They're fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, that would make sense on scuba diving stuff. You have like one mask and it has two like embedded magnets or something, so that when it's a dark, like cloudy day, you just have the normal lenses. But when you go to Tahiti or wherever, then you just buy like an extra little pop-on polarized lens or something just to pop over the top. And there you go. You don't have to buy like two different masks. You just get a separate sort of thing, and then you can mix and match. Yeah. That would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
One day. Well, shall we leave it up to our listeners? Obviously, if you're listening to the podcast, head over to our YouTube channel on Sunday morning when this goes live over on there. Mm-hmm. Pop your comments. What do you think could be, what brands do you reckon could come into the scuba diving world, and what do you think that they can make? And also as well, is there any advancements like the Garmin? So they obviously have something that already exists. They've tweaked it. They literally just probably made a program, an algorithm, made sure that it worked on their smart computers, and then wig wham bam, you've got yourself a smart, a dive computer. What are your thoughts, people? Let us know in the comments below. Shall we wrap up? I think 50 minutes. Yeah.
Let's. Thank you so very much for listening, everybody. Don't forget to sort of hit that follow, subscribe, whatever the button's called. Just click random buttons on your phone or whatever you're listening. Just mash them all until something goes green or there's like a little tick or something, because that'll make a world of difference. And if there's something that has like stars on it, hit on that whenever it says 5 stars and write a little comment saying thank you so very much for this sort of awesome listening experience. Don't forget to head over to our Instagram. It's at SimplyScuba, and subscribe to us because we're sort of uploading stuff. At the moment it's a little bit product heavy just because a lot of new stuff has arrived. But Sean does a lot of lifestyle stuff. I know one a couple of days ago probably didn't come through because it had music backing. I got a little message on my phone saying, "Oh, this post didn't go out because it had kill switch engaged."
Oh, that's the rebreather one. Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah. It was a cool video.
No, it's up.
I can't remember not all around the world, only in certain countries.
All right. Well, it's got a ton of likes, ton of views. That's all groovy.
Yeah. So just sort of hit that sort of subscribe button. That makes a world of difference. Don't forget to head over to SimplyScuba.com. All sorts of new and exciting scuba diving equipment. We just done a little bit of rearranging, so check it out on the website. If you are looking to buy something but money's getting a little bit tight, it's that time of year. We also have Klarna, which is a 0% finance option, just to make your life a little bit easier. You can break up those payments. We also have Adyen that protects you, so it encrypts all of your data, so I don't think even we can see it. It's just like, the money's gone through, there you go, it's safe, so internet hackers can't get your information when you're buying stuff through our website. Don't forget to check out the 2 Minute Foundation. So they do some wonderful things to help clean up our local beaches, so head over to their website and see how you can help out. And if you have any questions, comments, queries, or anything that you sort of want myself and or Sean to talk about, try and use the hashtag #AskMark in your comments. YouTube comments, please. Doesn't matter on the video. It's more that you use that hashtag. Makes it a lot easier for us to find. Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you for sort of staying all this time, and safe diving.
Stay classy, scuba divers.
And happy Halloween.
Happy Day of the Dead. I don't know what it is. Muchachos. No, it's not that.
That just means men.
The Deco Stop podcast is produced and recorded by Simply Scuba, the UK's #1 dive store. Visit today at simplyscuba.com.